Hey everyone, it's Vicky Magic here today with Wake Up to What Matters podcast. And today I have the amazing Annette Sim. Welcome, Annette.
Hi.
So Annette is one of my beautiful friends, and she is also one of Australia's favourite weight loss gurus and famous for the Simply Too Good cookbooks. Welcome, Annette, and I'd love to ask you to share a little bit more about you and your journey.
Well, thank you, my dear friend Vicky, for inviting me on today. Vicky and I've known each other for quite some time, and it's been a lovely friendship, and I feel very honoured to be on your show today. Thank you for inviting me. And I'm really excited to be able to share some maybe insight into, I wouldn't say personal development. I would call it just being fabulous, because that's what I'm about. I always say to people, if I'm too fabulous for you, that's not my problem, honey. And if I look back over my life, I really, when I think about where it led me to where I am today, I was a chubby child. I was a cuddly teenager. When I married my fabulous Billy 46 years ago, I was a buxom bride. And for many years, I was an obese adult, hitting the scales at 100 kilos. And I was just a chronic dieter. If I wasn't on a diet, I was thinking about it. I was just, on that yo-yoing roller coaster, which is really not fun. But one day I had a photo taken of me at Mooloolaba Beach. We'd just immigrated from Sydney to the Sunshine Coast, and my best friend Kimmy was up for a holiday. And she took a photo of me walking out of the water with my little daughter, who was, I think, 3 at the time. She's now 34. And she sent me this photo later, when she got home, and I cried when I saw the photo. I mean, I'll be honest, it really shattered me. I mean, have you ever seen a photo that you didn't like yourself?
Are you asking me that question? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like it. So you go with me here. You're feeling the emotion, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, but what I did that day was actually, as I wiped away those little pity tears, was I went, you know what, Annette? Face the facts. You're fat. I was hitting 100 kilos. I was getting fatter every day, and I was dieting. So I thought, whatever I'm doing, it's not working. And so I decided to change everything that day. And little did I know, but that photo was going to change my world, because I sat down, worked out a plan, thought, you know what, forget the dieting. I just want to be a healthy person, because I knew I wasn't. And so I just wrote down what I thought a healthy person was. I even rang a couple of friends and said, tell me what healthy is to you, because I wasn't real sure myself. And I say fake it till I make it. I actually pretended I was at my goal weight, and I just acted like I would if I was there. And from that, it took me about 20 months to lose 35 kilos. But during that time, that's when I got the love of healthy cooking. And I would make lasagnas and pies and cheesecakes, but all really low fat and healthy. And so I never felt that I was deprived, because as you would know, Vic, on a diet, it's just not fun.
Yeah. And
so through that, I managed to lose the weight, and I've kept it off because I changed a lifestyle, not, on a diet thing. And I've been in my healthy weight range now since 1993. And so through that, I was able to take it on board as a business, wrote some cookbooks, got a mentoring program going, doing cooking shows on Facebook, and having a ball.
Yeah.
Who knew?
And so I'd love to pick your brain a little bit more, obviously, about how you do help people, and because I'm sure that we've got a lot of listeners out there who may be struggling in their own journey with extra weight that they don't want. Where do you think is a really good place for people to begin?
Well, that's it. Just get started. Stop the excuses. Stop thinking Monday I'll get healthy. I'll do it on Monday. And I speak from experience here. I'm not going to tell anyone to do anything that I haven't had to do myself. And through my, online mentoring program, I found that a lot of people I think they just don't know a lot of stuff. And so the key is, like, if you look at what a healthy person is, and this is where you go to, like I did, I went straight to what is a healthy person, let's fake it till we make it, and a healthy person will make really good food choices. An unhealthy person makes bad food choices, you know, eat a lot of takeaway. Obese people tend to eat a lot of brown and white food, you know, and they eat a lot of their food in the dark. So in daytime often, and I used to do this, I'd have an apple all day, but then I'd get to dinner and I'd just eat the rag out of a doll for the whole evening because I was so starving. It was really this whole up and down that was useless, and all it did was make me get fatter and fatter. So number one is that they really do eat healthy. They make healthy choices. The next is that they eat in moderate amounts. As an overweight person, I can remember the first day on my Healthy Annette program that I created myself, by the way, I was allowed to have 90 grams of chicken cooked with veggies. And I was starving. By dinner time, I was, ready to attack that chicken. And when I weighed my 90 grams, I was like, are you serious? This is for a baby. And then a little voice said to me in the background, that's why you're fat. And I was eating double what I really should be having. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I would happily eat that 90 grams. It's perfectly normal. But the Annette that started, as I say, you got to just start with it and learn day by day, bit by bit. It's not going to have all the answers straight up, and you're going to have good and bad days. But the third thing, and there's 4 I want to give you. So the first one is, make good food choice. Second is eat in moderation. So I'm not about saying, don't take take carbs out of your life. That's ridiculous. We can't do that long term. This is a lifestyle, not just a quick fix. And carbohydrates are good for your brain. They're good for your energy. And I'll tell you, I need that work with my brain. I need it, you know what I mean? But it's how much you have. Like I would do a curry chicken and I'd fill my plate up with rice. The Annette that was losing weight measured half a cup. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with the rice, but the big plate of it was. Now, the third thing is that I got active. I got off the couch, didn't do it in the beginning because I thought I'd just drop dead, I've got to tell you. But I did get active, and I think that's the thing. That really helps you, lose weight, yes, but it helps you maintain.
Yeah.
And the fourth and final one on that is that they believed in their journey, the people that have lost the weight and kept it off. Like me, I took it on as this was me. It wasn't a quick fix. It wasn't just, I'll just do it for a little while and then I'll go back to the old ways. The day I started that, I kept saying to myself, I am a healthy person. And I used to say, I am the diet queen. And when you say the word diet, the first 3 letters are die. And it just feels like there's no life worth living when you're on a diet. But when you say the word healthy, which is that what I owned, I am a healthy person, the first 4 letters of healthy are heal. And that's what I did. And I encourage everyone to take it on because it's worth it. Whether you've got 5 kilos or 50 kilos, whatever. If you just want to get healthy, just do those 4 things and you'll be good.
Yeah, awesome. So what I'd love to ask you, because I know that this is something that a lot of people say when it comes to healthy eating and weight loss and making the effort, etc., is, I just don't have time. So what's your kind of antidote to I just don't have time?
Well, have you got the time to spend time with illness? Because what you do now, you're paving your way for a great life as you get older. You do not see morbidly obese 80-year-olds. Unfortunately, they have a shorter life. And also, the joints, the knees, the hips, the heart disease is the biggest killer in Australia. And the second is bowel cancer. So if you're eating healthy and getting that fibre in as well, and, low saturated fat, I'm all about low saturated fat. I go under an umbrella of low fat, but I really focus on low saturated fat. And so you're going to meet that criteria, absolutely, if you get on board and follow what I do. But the thing about not having time, look, we're all busy. I get it, but busy isn't an excuse. Get over yourself. You've got time. If I gave you $1,000 every time you cook dinner for me, or cook dinner for yourself, would you do it every night? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that, by the way. But, this is... No, I know. But this is why I've probably sold over 4 million cookbooks, because my recipes, the technique is chop it up, chuck it in the pot and cook it. I don't have time either. People say to me, you must love cooking. I go, no, I just love to get a delicious meal at the end of it. So as far as I'm concerned, it's got to be quick. It's got to be easy. It's got to be ingredients I can grab in the supermarket. And if it's not, then I'm not having it in my books, because who's got the time? You know what I mean? So I've got you covered. If you're really worried about time, what I do when I'm really busy is I'll actually do a cook up, and I'll make several things, portion them out, put them in the freezer, boom. On those busy days, instead of dialing out the pizza, I bring out a lasagna from the freezer and make a salad.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I guess at the end of the day too, the reality is that it takes just as much time to make a fattening meal as it does to make a healthy one, doesn't it, really?
Well, and by the way, you know what? I time my stuff. Like my cooking shows that I do on Facebook go for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or longer. If you dial out the pizza, you're not going to get that in under 20 minutes. So you've already chopped and your dinner's on your plate ready to go. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah, well, that's at the end of the day, that's right. Some people say it's too expensive to eat healthy, but that's not really true.
No, chocolates,
pretty expensive.
Chocolates, takeaways, junk food, all that sort of stuff. You take that out of your regime, and you've got plenty of money to spend on carrots and that, and apples and fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about, like, so some people think that they are going to be deprived, and you know that they couldn't imagine their life without all the yummy junk. So what would you say to those people who may be listening and going, oh yeah, that sounds good in you know, kind of theory, but I like my yummy junk?
Great question. You know, I cannot imagine my life without cheesecake. Let's just put it out there. I'm sorry, no. You know what I mean? Like, so what I did, because I didn't have anyone else doing this. I mean, most, you know, diet books and that, it was grilled fish and salad and really boring crap. Whereas I went in there, like I said, the lasagna, that was my very first recipe that I actually created long before I even thought of Simply Too Good to Be True. And I just looked at the recipe, because everyone's got a lasagna recipe, and I made it my way. I had it. The kids loved it. My hubby loved it. There was a leftover piece, so I had it 2 nights later. And I weighed in and lost 1 kilo that week. And I was so busy because I said to myself, I've had lasagna and I've lost weight. And that's actually when it started. The gong started going, thinking, you know, I don't have to be, you know, have food as an enemy here. Like, let's stop the battle. Let's make it my friend. You know what I mean? So I make cheesecakes, you know, 4 grams of fat for a slice. Obviously, you don't eat half a cheesecake. That's just common sense here. But I feel like I've looked at every recipe I could think of that I can give you 1/10 of the fat of, but still you will eat it and go, this is amazing. You know what I mean? So you don't have to miss out. That's the key. You know, I've got you covered. I mean, there's 8 cookbooks. Hello, you'll find something in there to like, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, isn't it? Making sure that you don't feel deprived.
It's important, because you're doing this for the long term. This is your new lifestyle. This isn't just, as I said, a quick fix. And if you're not sure, you know, go onto my website, and I've got recipes there for you to try, because, you know, I want you to, you know, believe why everyone loves them so much. Have a cook and find out.
Yeah. And what about, and I'm sure, you know, over the years, you've potentially struggled with overwhelmed, you know, having too much to do and too little time to get it done. I'd love to pick your brain about what you do when you are kind of struggling with overwhelm, and when you are sort of too busy and find yourself in that kind of rut of that. What advice would you give?
Well, you know, and once again, that's a really good question, because I think we all strive to be at a peaceful state within our lives, and we can get us into our heads and get all over and everything, and get so, you know, stressed. And what I do is, first of all, in my business, for example, I have a really good team. Like, I don't just do this on my own anymore. I did in the beginning, but I've got some fabulous support, and I love the word delegate. Oh yes, I do. If I don't have to personally do it, I'll give it to someone else. Like, I have in my home, I have a cleaner. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have someone that comes and washes our windows. You know, like, I look at outsourcing. What really can someone do better than me? And I'm happy to give it to them, so that when I do have, you know, a busy schedule, I've got time to focus on it. But the key for me to keep me on track is I love lists. I love a list. I'm a Taurus. I love it. Like, I mean, I've got a list here at the moment. Look, see? You know what I mean? Like, I've got a list made up for the next few days of what I need to do. I've got friends arriving on Saturday. So, you know, I've even done a list for my husband, you know, clean out the patio, clean the pool. And I just give him the list and empower him. You know what I mean? And I find that really, really helps. It's a simple thing. You know, I'm not telling you, you already heard that before, but having a list, then I can see clearly what do I need to do to get it done. And for me, sometimes I'll get up early in the morning to get in and get it done so I'm not stressed during the day. Or like I try and do a 4-day week because, you know, I think at this stage of my business, I should have 3 days off. But sometimes on a Friday, if it's just, as you say, like overwhelmed, I'll work on the Friday and happily reduce that, you know, schedule down. Yeah.
Yeah. And with your list thing, there's nothing more rewarding, is there, than ticking things?
Oh, I cross it out. I do a line through it and I go, done. Booyah.
I'm a tick girl. I love the tick.
I like a tick.
Yeah, awesome. So back to the weight loss, I'd love to hear, you know, how do you feel now being that healthy version of you compared to, you know, like there might be somebody out there listening who just needs that kind of little extra incentive to get started. So I think sometimes when we hear the difference that it's made in their life. So I'd love to invite you to share the difference for you that it's made.
Oh, happily. Look, I think the key is that it's hard being overweight. You know, it's hard because you're downing on yourself. You're not wearing the clothes you love. You're dragging yourself through the day because you're tired. And in summer, you get sweaty and rashy and, you know, you don't like looking at yourself in the mirror. And Lord forbid you have to put a swimsuit on. It's hard work. People think it's hard to lose weight. It's not. It's not as hard as going and facing every day feeling you're not who you really are. And I remember looking in the mirror at myself saying, where have you gone, Annette? Like I had this big round face and I felt so miserable. And really what it was is just taking it that it can't be worse. It's got to get better. And it does. Look, you know, once you get on to your program, you know, you work out your meals. Like I always do a 7-day meal plan. Like I write the main meals in. So I know what to shop. And that's another way of de-stressing as well, because Bill, my husband's fabulous, and he will often look at it and go, okay, I'll get that ingredients for dinner tonight. You know what I mean? So like, as again, delegate. But I think the key is to believe in yourself and have that mindset that you can do it and that there's no turning back. This is how you're going to do it. And just go forward. You know, like I said, day by day, bit by bit, you'll get there if you just keep going. It's when you give up and go, oh, bugger it. I can't be bothered. I miss my chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, you can have chocolate. You just don't have it in a whole block. And most of the time, all that eating's done in secret, if you like, I was. So I would say the joy of getting healthy and seeing those scale numbers going down is empowering. It really does. And you feel a bit busy about yourself and you carry yourself a bit better. And as the weight comes off and people start going, oh, you're looking good, you know, it will build you up more. And it's so much better than living back at like I was at the 100 kilos, got to tell you. So you know, take the step.
Yeah. So my last question for you, and it's about, you know, you've been doing this for as long as I can remember. How many years have you been doing it?
27.
27 years. So my last question.
Well, no, I've been in my healthy weight range for 27 years, but my business has been going for about 23 years.
Right. So my question is around that. So you've been doing this for 23 years.
Yep.
What's next for you? Like, is this a ever-ending thing? Are there more cookbooks coming? Are there, what's next?
Well, you know, when I look at, you know, my little portfolio, I've got the 8 books, you know, this 1 to 7 and then the cooking 1 or 2. I don't plan any more books because, you know, I'm 65 now, Dale. You know, it's like having a baby when you write a book. It takes me about 9 months and, you know, it's a lot of hard work. But I kind of feel like I've done so much with that, that maybe there could be options there that we're thinking about, but in smaller little theme books. I've just launched a new shake because I have my breakfast shakes, which are fabulous. I made them up because I love to have a quick shake in the morning, but they all tasted so bad that I thought, I'm going to make my own up, which I did, and they've gone really well. But I've just released a dairy-free one. So I've got 3 shakes, you know, the chocolate, the vanilla and the coffee, but now I've done the dairy-free vanilla. So this year's been a big year for Simply Too Good. You would think that with the COVID thing, but we're actually probably twice as busy as we were this time last year. So the shake thing's going. My mentoring program, which has been fabulous, it's a constant thing going, and so we're constantly working on that. As you can imagine, we do 3 challenges a year, and at the moment I'm writing new menu plans for that. So there's lots of work to do. I've filmed videos, you know, I do lots of videos, and then my Facebook shows. I used to do Thursday with Annette at Simply Too Good on Facebook, but now with COVID, I felt really bad for everyone in lockdown, so I threw another one in. And so I do Tuesday with Annette and Thursday with Annette. So, you know what? I'm busy enough. I think we're doing fine. Do I need to add more? Well, yes. I added knives, my beautiful Neoflam knives into the website. I've added fry pans and woks. So things have evolved this year, Vic. But me personally, I don't know if I want to work harder. I think it's about being smarter.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for coming on today. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Well, look, guys, you know, at the end of the day, can I just say, can you just be your own best friend? You know what I mean? Like, we talk to ourselves in a really bad way. Like, you know, you fat pig, or your guts, why are you eating that? Because, you know, like I used to be called that when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So, and you know, you're paying yourself out with negative words. Stop it. Yeah. Don't do that. You would never say that to your best friend. So why are you saying it to yourself? So I want you to go and think a little bit more about kindness to self. And if that means you want to lose a bit of weight, or you might just decide you want to learn how to swim, or do it, whatever it is you need to do to make you fizzy fabulous, and just talk loving to yourself, be kind, and life just will get easier.
Yeah. Awesome. And I know that you mentioned to me before we started that you were going to offer our listeners some freebies.
Oh, I love a freebie. Come on. So look, in January, see, this is the thing, there's lots of things popping out of the Simply Too Good website and head office. I did an ebook in January called 7-Day Quick Start to Your Weight Loss. And I thought, you know what, we've touched a bit on that. Do you want more? Well, this book, I sold thousands of this ebook and it was $5.95. How about we give it away today, Vicky? Awesome. And I've given you a link, so if you can include that for them, because it's got recipes in there. It's got a menu plan, a 7-day menu plan, so you can actually see how I do it. You know what I mean? And I just thought it'd be nice to give you something for listening to me. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for your time today. And I adore you. I absolutely love you. I'm so grateful. So thank you.
Back at you, Dal. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Stay healthy and fabulous.
Listening.